Well, guys, most people think that if they were rich, they would be happy. And it does seem like that would be the case on the surface. But unfortunately, that isn't really the case all the time. I mean, if you look at all of the super wealthy people that are in misery, that are going through all kinds of things that you're probably going through too, as far as relationships goes and health issues and things like that. So being rich doesn't fix everything, and that's one of the reasons that you see a lot of super wealthy people like movie stars, music in the music industry and things like that. They end up getting on drugs. They committed suicide. Look at Kurt Cobain. He was going straight up to the top and shotgun in the mouth. So it does happen, and that's been the case, a lot of times. Look at Robin Williams. I mean, a lot of these people obviously aren't happy, and I would say a lot of these celebrities that you see, these actors you see on TV that are playing a role in their own personal life, they probably aren't really all that happy. So just being rich, just having money, isn't going to make you, me or anyone else, happy. However, it does beat being completely broke and homeless. So there needs to be, in my opinion, a happy in between. You need to make enough money to be comfortable. Don't worry about being rich, because you probably never will be. And if you just set that goal, I want to be a multi-millionaire, you're not going to make it most likely. It's possible, but not likely. And even if you do, it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be happy. But you need to make enough to be comfortable. And that should be what we all strive for, in my opinion anyway, is to just be comfortable. Let me know what you think in the comments below, about my thoughts. But as long as you have a place to live that is comfortable to you, it doesn't have to be a mansion, it doesn't have to be, a huge house. It can be a camper trailer. It can be in the back of your truck or in your car, as long as you are comfortable and you are happy. That's what matters, is being comfortable. I couldn't be comfortable in a car, but apparently some people do from what I saw while watching videos on YouTube. But as long as you're comfortable, you have a roof over your head where you're out of the rain, you're out of the cold, you're out of the extreme heat, and you have a comfortable bed to sleep in, you have something to eat, you have decent food to eat, you're not struggling every day to find food to eat, to find a place to live, you're not living in a cardboard box, but I guess you could be comfortable there too. I don't know. I don't think I would be. And then when it rained, the cardboard box, you just disintegrate. But people live in all kinds of different ways. And I've seen a lot of homeless people that are homeless on purpose. They want to be that way. It's their choice to be that way. Not all, but some want to be that way. It's their life, and they like it that way. People are different. Don't think you have to base, your life and your finances on what someone else has, what someone else tells you that you need. Look at your own self and decide what you need to be happy. If you have a family, if you have kids, you have to have more, because you have people to take care of. It's your responsibility. So you'll need more. You need to make more of an income. You need a bigger house for those kids, for your wife or your husband or whatever. You'll need to make more. But you don't need to make more than what you need. What you need is a lot less than what you actually want. Because a lot of times, people will work, save, and spend, by the end of the year, everything that they have actually worked and saved. Because they will save for, a vacation. And they have debt, for example. They will have a car payment. And they will pay the minimum on that, the minimum monthly payment, and they will save money and go on a vacation with that money instead of paying their car payments, instead of paying their debt down. That is, to me, not smart money management. You want to get out of debt as quickly as possible, in my opinion, because debt over your head is a miserable existence to be in, because if you're in debt, you have to always take crap at your job, because you can't afford to lose your job, because if you do, you can't pay your debts. So, being debt-free is definitely a huge plus it gives you a lot more freedom. But being rich isn't really a thing I've strived to do. I like to make enough to be comfortable. Also, if you make, the more you make, the more the government takes. And I saw where Donald Trump now is saying that they're going to eliminate the income tax for anyone that earns under $150,000. That would be great, but you have to go through Congress to do that, I think. So we'll see if that happens. Maybe it will. Probably won't. Not holding my breath, but if it did, that'd be a huge plus in my opinion. Because you could put that money back in your pocket, and then most people would spend that and go back into the economy. So it would help people, it would help the economy and be a stimulation of the economy. But we'll have to wait and see about that. Hopefully it does happen, because it'd be a lot easier to keep up with, not having to keep up and all the booking and stuff and everything, the books and stuff to pay your federal income tax. You still have to pay your Social Security, will have to. But anyway, people want to earn more and more and more, mainly because they want to impress other people. They want to be able to say, I make $350,000 a year, but they're still broke because they're spending every dime they get. They are in debt, because if people make $350,000 a year, most people will spend $360,000 a year or more, because they will go in debt. They will have to get a bigger house because they're making more money. They can afford it. They got to show off to the neighbors. So they will get a bigger house. They will get a new car. They will get all kinds of things they don't really need and go in debt for those things and max out that $350,000 they make every year, and max it out to live to the highest possible level they can. And then they're still trying to make ends meet. They're still trying to figure out how they're going to pay the payments at the end of the month, because everything they own, they don't really own as the bank does. So they're in misery also. Just being comfortable should be your goal. Just being comfortable. Having a comfortable bed, that's important. I would spend good money to have a comfortable bed. A comfortable bed, to me, is extremely important, because when you had a long day, when you're tired, when you're sick, you need to lay down, you need to get some rest. And if your bed is hard as a brick, if your bed isn't comfortable, that's not good. So spending money on a good, comfortable bed is a good investment, in my opinion, because you want to be comfortable. No one to see your bed, as far as your neighbors goes, hopefully, but you have it because it's for you and your family, you and your husband, you and your wife, because you want, or just you, because you want to be comfortable, and that's important. If you have comfortable furniture set in your house, that's important, because you want to be comfortable. You want to have good food to eat, a roof over your head, something decent to drive, and if you have that, you're good, you're golden. There's no need for anything else. There's no need for more. Down here at the Museum of Appalachia, there's a little cabin. I can't remember the guy's name off my head right now, but he was a older guy in the photograph I saw there, probably in his late 60s, I would say, early 70s maybe. But he had a little house that was looked like a tool shed. Looked like a tool shed. It was probably about 10 by 12, and it had a plaque. It was his actual house. They had moved and put it at the Museum of Appalachia for people to see. But he had said that all you need is a bed, a wood stove, your Bible, a cooking pot, and a frying pan, and a .38 revolver, and you'd be happy. He said that's all you need. You don't need anything else. And in that little cabin, he had his twin bed. He had his wood stove. There wasn't no gun in the cabin, obviously, because someone would take that. But he had the wood stove, he had his bed, and he had, a few things in the cabin there. And he said, that's all you need, because he was comfortable. That was all he needed. He didn't need anything more. So it actually comes down to an individual level what you actually need, individually. You don't need everything that everyone else has. You don't need everything that you're told that you need. You need enough to be comfortable. As long as you're comfortable, that's what matters. As long as your family is comfortable, that's what matters. As long as you're warm in the wintertime. As long as you are able to get in and out of the elements when it's really hot. Air conditioning, a fan. As long as you have a roof over your head to keep the snow off and the rain off. Good food to eat. You should be happy. You should be thankful. You don't need anything more. You don't need everything that Jill or Tom down the street has. You don't need to get something bigger than they have to say, look at mine. Mine's bigger than yours is. That's what everybody does. Seems like they want to swing it around. Mine's bigger than yours is. Look over here. Look at my brand new $80,000 truck that I'm in debt for. Look at me. Look at me. That's what a lot of stuff is. Just look at me. Look at me. It's easy to fall in that trap. It really is, because we all want to be respected. We all want people to look up to us and think that we have made it better than they have. It's a competition. Don't be in the competition. Worry about you. Worry about your family. Worry about being comfortable. And if you're comfortable, and you have a comfortable place to live, comfortable bed, comfortable furniture, good food to eat, roof over your head, maybe a reliable form of transportation, be happy. You don't really need anything else. Be happy with what you have. If you have that, if you don't, try to get that, and then get out of debt. Don't waste money trying to impress everyone else. And if you can live by that code, then you can live on a lot less money. Because like I said, most people, the more they make, the more they will spend. It doesn't matter how much they make. They will spend it to the max. They will stay on vacations. They will buy jewelry. They will buy everything, and they will work harder and harder and harder just to buy crap they don't really need, when they could have just had their free time. I'd rather have free time, time to do what I want to do, time to just relax, than work myself to death trying to make a few more extra dollars to pay payments on something I didn't need in the first place. It doesn't make any sense to me. It really doesn't. But a lot of people do. They work themselves to death to get a few more little trinkets, a few more little things, to be able to pay a few more debts, monthly payments, to impress someone else, when they should have been worried about being comfortable. And like I said, being comfortable depends on who you are. Depends on what you think is comfortable, what's comfortable to you. There isn't a one size fits all in this life that we live in. It's individually. Decide for yourself what's best for you. And if you have a family, you have to include your family in that, obviously. And you have to decide what's best for you and your family. Hopefully your partner, your wife or your husband, will agree and have the same goals as you have. If they don't, that's a huge problem. And a lot of times that is an issue. But if they do, then that's great. You know, that's great. You can work together to make enough, just enough, to be comfortable. Having a small nest egg put back for emergencies is good. If you can have 3 to 6 months of living expenses put back, keep that put back, and keep adjusting for inflation, then that's a good position to be in. But other than that, you don't really need to save, you know, in my opinion. Not financial advice, just my opinion. You don't need to save a lot of currency. Like I said, 3, preferably 6 months of living expenses put back, enough to buy food, pay your bills, gasoline, whatever. How much it takes, it will depend on, like I said, individually again, how much you need, how much you owe, how much everything would cost you and your family for 6 months. 3 to 6 months, have that put back in case something does happen. After that, there's no need, in my opinion, in saving a bunch of currency, because it just loses value. It just loses value all the time. If you look back and what you could buy with $10,000 20 years ago, and look what it buys now, you can see how it lost value. So just putting currency back, working yourself to death to save that paper, that currency. It's not really paper, it's like a, I don't know what it's really called, what it's really made it of actually, but it's not really papers. Some kind of cloth, I think, and paper mixing it together maybe. I don't know for sure what it's made of. It's not really important. I think too much about the details sometimes. But just working yourself to death to save currency is a losing proposition. That's obvious. It should be to anyone. That's a losing proposition. You'll save and you'll save and you'll work and put it in the bank, put it under your mattress, wherever, and it keeps losing value all the time. So that's not good. Like I said, 3 to 6 months living expenses to have back should be your goal. After that, just be comfortable. Just be comfortable. Spend time with your family, spend time with your dog, spend time taking a walk, going fishing, doing whatever. Free time is important. Your time is important. We're only here for so long. We have so many years, so many days, so many hours, so many seconds here on this earth, and then we're gone. So you need to figure out what's important to you. Is working 70, 80 hours a week to pay for trinkets you didn't need, to impress your neighbors, is that important to you? Is it that important to sell your life? It isn't to me. For me, I just want to be comfortable. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video, hopefully.